The final competitive day of Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and we had to crown a champion. We had 6 teams left. It was Optic United out of the winner's bracket, and 4 more gunning to make almost what would be considered to be an impossible loser's bracket run. Get the recap, breakdown, and my final thoughts in this episode right now. COD fans, it's a little bittersweet. I'm not gonna lie. It's been an incredible year, but we need to wrap it up. I don't want to get too gushy about all of it. Let's just dig into the results. That's what you came for. You want to hear my take on it. You want to get caught up on what may have happened in the earlier games. I'm sure most of you already know what happened in the championship, but we'll hold it just in case you don't want the spoiler early to the very, very end. Let's start things off, though. Again, here is your final bracket. In the losers semifinals, or quarterfinals, however you want to call it, it'll be Units at Enigma 6 and Reciprocity and 100 Thieves. They were the 2 sets of teams that were playing for what would be either a top 6 finish or a potential top 4 or beyond finish. We'll start things off with Units and Enigma 6. And again, Enigma 6 has been this team that, you know, I've been saying a lot about this team, that they're a very solid team. They know how to play this game together. They're doing things the correct way. It just comes down to, can they clutch things up? Well, they would show that they wouldn't need to necessarily clutch things up in this first one, because they absolutely smoked Units 3-0, just about as fast as you could potentially imagine. 250, 186, 6-4 on the search, 3-0 on the control. What you want to know about is this 100 Thieves and Reciprocity game. Essentially, this would be a matchup that would determine a lot, because going into Enigma 6, I think both these teams would be carrying favor and trying to make this loser's bracket run continue for 100 Thieves. They would go up against Dylan, where who knows what might happen when you're playing up against that maniac of a man. The bad news here for Reciprocity was bad news that they had versus Optic. Their map pool that they vetoed was atrocious. It was, I won't say it was atrocious, but it was extremely questionable. They let 100 Thieves get onto Hacienda and Arsenal Hardpoint. Arguably 2, if not their best current hardpoints. Gridlock is the only other consideration. I'm completely baffled by the choice to let them go to both of these spots. And then beyond that, Reciprocity allows them to search and destroy to go to Arsenal, their best search map. And then for the control, it goes to Seaside, which is not their best map. But it blew my mind that we talked about this, about how they let Optic get onto a map pool that Optic was just too comfortable with. And they do the exact same thing versus 100 Thieves. All those maps that I mentioned that were comfortable, no chance. It was an easy run for 100 Thieves through them. 250, 103, 250, 145 on the hard points, 6-3 on the search. And then, like I mentioned, not super comfortable in Seaside control. They'd lose that one 1-3. But still, you wished for more preparation-wise for Reciprocity. Never really felt like they had a fighting chance in that set. So we'd go on. EUNITED and Optic would play in the winners finals. Enigma 6, 100 Thieves playing for 4th place. We'll start things off with the EUNITED and Optic set first, just because that's the way the broadcast coverage went. This one started off insanely well for Optic, as they would go to Frequency for the hardpoint, a map that EUNITED, I believe, would have picked, because they're really strong in that map, but it would go Optic's way very convincingly. A hot start for the SMGs. You're starting to feel good about the head-to-head matchup versus Optic. Then they would go to Payload Search and Destroy. Again, you're feeling great about Payload Search as in the initial launch, because Optic is incredible at it. But get this statistics. After EUNITED would steal a round 11 away from Optic, that would put Optic at 4 losses on Search and Destroy Payload. 3 of them would come from the hands of EUNITED. Okay, United, I see you letting Payload go through, saying we've beat them there a couple times before, we can do it again. They absolutely were able to do that. Then we go to Frequency Control, and EUNITED was all over Optic. A lot of spawn killing was going on. It looked very, very good for EUNITED, a 3-0 there. And then we'd go to Arsenal Hardpoint, a map that Optic has looked good on, but they did not show up at all. A 250 to, wait for it, 52. EUNITED absolutely smacked Optic, putting them in the losers bracket, where they would have to face up against the winner of E6 and 100 Thieves. So let's talk about that 100 Thieves and E6 matchup. Now, there are a handful of you that are out there that know about, I won't even call it bias, because it's not. It's just statistic and fact-based. How I feel about this Enigma 6 team. This is an incredible squad. Now, I will go ahead and showcase the scores. It was a 3-0 for 100 Thieves, but Before we go there, I want to recap the 3 maps because they were insanely close. Enigma 6 up on the Hacienda Hardpoint, which again, it's like, why do you play 100 Thieves on Hacienda Hardpoint? For Enigma 6, they say, because we're good at this map. And they absolutely were. General with a couple of nice, again, dual zoom plays, making a lot of things turn up in their favor. But it's Kenny that pops off at the end of the Hardpoint, making the comeback happen. They string together fences into streaks, into rock, where they're able to close out Enigma 6, 217 to 250. Enigma 6 was right on the cusp of closing out 100 Thieves in the first map. We then stay on Hacienda, but go to Search and Destroy. Enigma 6 find themselves up 4-1. 100 Thieves able to find a couple of clutch rounds, even against numbers, where they're able to put things away. They earn streaks late. They're able to shut down streaks from Enigma 6 who weren't quite able to find the value that they were looking for with it. A 4-6 is how the Search and Destroy would read. We then go to Gridlock Control, and you're feeling like if you're Enigma 6, you should be up 2-0, but now you're looking at a 2-0 differential, not in your favor. And they start off Gridlock looking pretty solid up until there's a 1v2 moment where Octane pops off and clutches things up. That puts 100 Thieves up around, and then they're able to close off another one shortly after that. Again, Enigma 6 in a position to have closed that one out, potentially 3-0 in the other direction. They will finish 4th place. You know, it's a feels bad moment because this is where that Enigma 6 team struggled all year, closing out and just not being able to finish teams where they have a lead against them, especially top tier teams. Their 100 Thieves has been their kryptonite all season. They go 0-6 against 100 Thieves on the season, 6-18 in the maps. By far one of the most head-to-head totals that we could reference. And it's a big feels bad for Enigma 6 because as we go into the losers finals, honestly, based on how Optic looked against 100 Thieves, Enigma 6 definitely could have beat Optic. Definitely could have beat Optic and put him in the finals, and that would have been an incredible storyline and a big I told you so to all of you haters of E6 out there. And I still told you so a little bit, but let's get back into it. 100 Thieves and Optic, I already kind of prefaced this one with how it went. It was a little bit closer, but this one would read a 3-0. Optic not quite able to get the job done on Seaside, even though they were starting off very hot versus 100 Thieves. They let 100 T get going. 250 to 210 would be the score on Seaside, as 100 Thieves would get a number of great streak usages to string together some hills, and it just became an insurmountable total for Optic. Search and Destroy would then go to Arsenal, a map that, again, 100 Thieves has looked pretty good on. Optic would be able to battle and stay in it throughout the most part, but not enough in the tank. 6-4 there, and then Arsenal Control, put it away. 100 Thieves just rolled right through them. 3-0 Control, 3-0 the set. Grand Finals, EUNITED, 100 Thieves, and EUNITED go in as, wait for it, the underdog for the first best of 5 by the betting lines. If that doesn't tell you what kind of a magical run 100 Thieves were just putting themselves on, I don't know what would. Again, all of the betting lines out there were like plus 110 to EUNITED, plus 120 to EUNITED. I was like, are you kidding me? EUNITED coming out of the winner's bracket is the underdog. It was for the first best of 5, but still, they were the underdog. And the map pool, it was a pretty even map pool, with the exception of there was an Arsenal S&D looming as a potential Game 5. We'd start things off on Seaside Hardpoint. And 100 Thieves, we mentioned it a couple times on Twitter, they had not been playing this map at all since just after London. They would play it 2 sets back to back. Well, the second set did not go nearly as well for them as the first one did. It was a dominating performance from Abizi, Simp, and Pristini. 126 to 250. Woo! Pretty nutty. EUNITED looking like they're looking to win a championship, but we would have to play Search and Destroy first. Went to Hacienda. Not a map that Simp can snipe on freely. He tried to force it. It worked out a couple of different times, but 100 Thieves knows how to punish sniper rifles, apparently, on that map mode specifically. They're able to take it pretty convincingly 6-3. We then go to Control on Frequency. 100 Thieves, a big 2-0. They use 4 score streaks, 3 specialists to try to close out the map, and EUNITED stay alive. But only for so long. They're not able to close out round number 4. It's a 3-1 to 100 Thieves. Then we'd go to Arsenal Hardpoint. You got to be loving this if you're a 100T fan. They've been dominant here before. They have a lot of experience on this map just in this tournament alone. It would be a nail-biter. But at the end of the day, EUNITED would turn up, put together a pretty magical comeback run where they were down about 60 or so at one point. Really just one hill. It was a jet statue that EUNITED were able to turn not only into a full hold, but a great rotation into the gun artillery placements. into the trophy hill. They close things out with the vision pulse and a couple of great specialist usages at the end as they get to the last rotation of hills on the 50-50 neutral. 250, 219, map 5, Arsenal, search and destroy. If you missed the video, this is his playground, and he made it his playground again. He started off 7-0. 100 Thieves would not be nearly as embarrassed as units were on this map, but they would not be able to get the job done. EUNITED, your CWL World Champions of 2019, a 6-4 score there, the 3-2 overall. That's all I got. I don't really know what else to tell you guys. An insane day of games, an insane week of games, an insane season as a whole. And, you know, I kind of want to wrap this video up here just to kind of give you guys a little bit more insight into what's going to be coming in the future. If you missed my 10K thank you video, go back and check that one out a little bit. I tell you a little bit about what's coming, but I'm going to be taking a little bit of break from YouTube. I will be posting a couple more videos, though, as far as reactions and what I'm hoping for next year. I also am going to be doing a top 5 what-if moments from the year past. And maybe even if I get the time, I'll go back through and do a top moments overall for me personally. That's going to be a hard one, though. I honestly don't know if I'm going to have the energy to go back and find all the clips and videos to make that video come to life. If you have ideas as far as other videos to wrap up Black Ops 4, please let me know. But I will be saying this. I'm going to be looking to dive more head into the casual content going into next year in Modern Warfare, specifically in the fall. So expect more content like that throughout the beta and things of that nature. I have a couple of ideas that I want to explore, so I'm going to be spending a lot of the next couple of weeks and months kind of developing that and making sure the assets, the production value is where I want it to be for a full-time kind of show. And then beyond that, I will still be playing a bunch. So if you're not already in my Discord, I would love to set up some viewer 10s and some sub 10s and things like that. So join the Discord if you're not already in it. You can find the link in the description below if you're looking for more friends to play with. I also have a looking to game channel where you can kind of ping a couple of people and, you know, see if anyone's willing to play. I will be jumping on and playing a bunch, but I will still be doing content. It's not going to be every single day like you've seen these videos. I want to take a little bit more time for myself. The last 2 months have been an extreme grind for me. Like, as depressing and as silly as it sounds, like, I literally for the last 2 months have been barely going between the bedroom, the kitchen, and this chair. Either it's watching, making content, casting. It's been an insane grind. Need to take some mental time to just refocus myself and regroup. Beyond that, I will be doing more casting things with the Collegiate Call of Duty League. We'll be starting to do up some Friday night fight nights and things of that nature going into the season coming up for the CCL in 2020. And beyond that, a couple other CMG casts. So you'll still check me out. Make sure to follow me on Twitter to get more notifications of what I'm doing, where I'm going. But it's not it for the content here. I just want to make sure that the videos that I put out are not just videos for video's sake. I want to put some good production behind them and make them something really special. So if you've enjoyed this channel all the way through the Black Ops 4 year, I cannot tell you how thankful I am. Even if you clicked it a single time, even if this is your first time watching, if you're still watching to now, you apparently like what I have to offer. So thank you very much. For all the notification squad out there, you guys are insane. Battle to see who comes first in the comment section. I knew you would. But beyond that, we'll catch you guys for the flip-flop and the pity-waddy. I don't even know what those words are. I'm just making things up on the fly. That's it for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Hopefully, we'll catch you guys for the next recap video and the next little insight video that I'm doing. And until then, hope you guys keep holding it down. Later. Bye-bye.